Hey guys, so I want to talk about why CS is so scary. I don't know if it's broken. It definitely isn't broken because it's always going through. For some reason, I just feel like it's it's so good. I don't think it needs nerfs. I think it's really good, but I think that I input it really well in matches, and I think that a lot of Ivy players input it very well in matches. It is a 7-directional input command grab that Ivy has. It does 80 damage, and then the Just Frame version does 88 damage. It's pretty darn cute if you ask me, and it's Christmas time. And Ivy, look at this dress. I didn't know what color to make the heels, so I just made them white. Don't care. But going back to CS, I think it's pretty scary. And a lot of people were like, oh, I broke that, or I teched that when they message me, or we're playing in game or in person. And I really couldn't care less because it's such a hard input to break. And then when they tell me that, I'm like, what do you walk on water? So when a player does in fact break CS, I'm like, wow, this is impressive. It's very difficult to break. There's a 10 frame break window. You have to mash the break 6 times within a second to get a break every time. And I feel like when a lot of players say, oh, I broke that, they do not take into account fatigue. I am not a scientist. I have not tested this. This is only my theory. When you're mashing a break throughout the game, there is no way, there's no living way in hell that you are going to break every single CS. No one can do that. You're not a robot, and this grab is dangerous. So AK into CS is a setup that a lot of Ivy players, including myself, use. So yeah, this is a pretty good setup. AK, I believe, gives you +6, and then CS. Oh, you have a CS. Oh, it's so good. Yay. It's a good setup. The opponent can reversal edge out of it, or they can GI out of it. I think one thing that makes CS scarier is when you can stagger your CSs. So let's say you do an AK, right? And then you do a delay little micro step forward and then CS, or a block into grab, or a block into CS. Like those little moments where you wait or stop and then CS are super scary, and your CSs are going to land a lot more because a lot of players are not good at breaking CS. So what if they are expecting a CS, right? And they're mashing their brains out. I was like, oh snap, the Ivy just did AK, I might just get grabbed and I don't want to duck. So I'm gonna break right there. Or I'm gonna mash right there. And they mash like 7 breaks. They mash like 7 to 10 breaks. It's like, mash. Hey, I'm breaking. And they're mashing, but then they stop. And then after they stop momentarily because they believe that a CS is not coming and they're ready to start up an attack, they get CS. At least that's what happens when I am playing against an Ivy player. Your opponent is not going to break their whole life. They're not going to break their whole life. They're not a robot. And I think that Ivy players need to take that into account when they're CSing. Another setup that I love using is CS, AA into CS. This is my favorite setup. It is the most obvious setup. It's the most known setup that Ivy players use. However, it becomes super dangerous when you like to do AA into nothing, or AA into 66K, or AA into 66A, or AA into 3K, or just AA into taunt to be cheeky. It becomes dangerous when you leave your opponent at back turn the whole entire game, and then you decide to do CS after a landed AA at the end of the game, or in the middle of the game. If you decide to do CS randomly,